Once upon a time, far, far away in the kingdom of Phalange, there lived a prince and a princess named Julian and Olive. They loved to ride on their unicorns, play in the magical willow trees, and swim in Raindrop Lake. But one day, Julian and Olive noticed something was different in the kingdom. Where there was once sunshine and clean air, CO2 monsters now filled the sky.
The monsters caused the unicorns to feel crummy, the willow trees to weep, and Raindrop Lake was now filled with icky pollution. King Phalange saw how the CO2 monsters were harming his kingdom and called for his children Julian and Olive.
Listen closely, the king told his children. The CO2 monsters are destroying our kingdom. I give you this task. Journey to the majestic mountain to visit the 3 climate scientists. They will tell you how to free the kingdom from the CO2 monsters. Julian and Olive accepted their task and set off for Majestic Mountain. After a long journey, Julian and Olive arrived at the climate scientist laboratory. The king has sent us, said Julian.
We need your help, added Olive.
Of course, replied the red scientist. We've been expecting you.
The blue scientist explained that the CO2 monsters gained power when the townspeople drove their cars and left lights on in their homes.
Then the orange scientist gave ways that Julian and Olive could fight the monsters. Ride your bike instead of driving your car, and turn the lights off when you aren't using them.
The purple scientist chimed in. Here's another task, friends. Share this wisdom with the kingdom and save the land.
As Julian and Olive left the climate scientists, they felt as if the weight of the world had been placed on their shoulders. But by the time the children returned to the kingdom, they had already come up with a plan to defeat the CO2 monsters. What if we could get everyone to turn off their lights for 1 hour? Then we could really show those CO2 monsters who's boss, exclaimed Julian.
We could call the event An Hour for Earth, added Olive.
Julian and Olive rushed back to the castle to share their idea with the king.
What a grand idea,
the king replied.
Now go and spread the word to the rest of the kingdom. Julian and Olive organized the citizens of Phalange, and that night the very first hour for Earth took place.
The next day, Julian and Olive stepped onto their balcony overlooking the kingdom, and saw all the good An Hour for Earth had done. The unicorns looked happy, the willow trees no longer wept, and the pollution in Raindrop Lake had disappeared.
Wow, said Julian. Our for Earth chased the CO2 monsters away.
We should have An Hour for Earth every day, said Olive.
To show their appreciation, the people of Phalange presented Julian and Olive an award for their service to the community. Julian and Olive then led An Hour for Earth every night. They all lived happily ever after.